For the third year in a row, your Stanford Cardinal have made it to the Pac-12 Championship. But this year it's going to be a little different as we play the Washington Huskies. The highest point they have achieved during our time here with Coach Barrington and the Cardinal. Can they put the Huskies in the doghouse, head on to the college football playoffs as a three-time Pac-12 champion? Well, if you look on paper, these teams, production-wise, are very similar. 33 points per game. The passing yards separated by a mere 13 yards. Rushing yards, 11 going the opposite way. Overall-wise, it is vastly in favor of our number 2 Stanford. And this year, we are undefeated, looking for the perfect season. Meanwhile, UW started their season with a 31-29 loss to Army. In Week 12, they had an embarrassing showing against Arizona State that started off well, 10-0, but 24 unanswered would give the Sun Devils the win. Fortunately for the Huskies, those would be their only 2 losses on the season. They've got a QB that they very much trust in Ian Bayless. We've seen him a couple times, but this year he's playing a lot cleaner. 30-5 for 75%. Unfortunately, they will be missing their starting running back in Troy Prefontaine as he has a knee cartilage tear. So filling in his stead will be the sophomore running back from Tacoma, a fairly local kid for the Huskies, Braylon Hasty. But where they have the biggest threat on offense are their top 2 receivers. We've played against Warrior. We really haven't seen Correa, but he's also another local kid here for the Huskies. Another guy to keep an eye on, though, is senior receiver Fetele Aitui, who leads them in touchdowns this year with 10, despite about half the yardage production of the other 2. That means red zone-wise, he is where they're looking. Up front, they play a pretty clean game. And offensively, they have some standouts at linebacker, Laney Carden, leading them in tackles by about 20. Tackles for a loss-wise, you have Creed Vujnovic. He also happens to lead them in sacks, tied with Christian Dugans at 10.5. But this is where your biggest players shine. And for the Stanford Cardinal, they have Cassius Sampson, who's looking to take his second Heisman before he heads to the NFL, back in the running for the postseason. And if he wants that award, and if he wants to help continue that perfect season, we've got to be ready to play. Offense, though, up first as the Pac-12 Championship is underway. Legend and Ogbar takes it right down the middle. A good stop at the 19 will be where the offense heads on out. Again, these 2 teams, very, very similar. We know points can be scored. They can be scored quickly, but also we could take our time. We'll see what Coach Barrington has in mind today, as it's Larry Sulai with a whole lot of juking and jiving down the middle. Lane Carden will eventually get that stop. It's a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 with a little roll to the screen side. Be a pass to Sulai. He's got the first down and a good bit more. Cardinal up to the 37, and Wesovich checking in here, giving Sulai a bit of a breather as they'll look for their first pass under pressure and getting rid of it. A flag comes down, and it looks like we might have an ineligible man downfield. It is not that often that on a throwaway you have a penalty like that. Backs the Cardinal up 5 here to the 32. Hard count, no one jumps. And again, having to dance around in the pocket, rolling to the outside. Draft will pick up some yardage here, but he doesn't appear to be 100% getting up from that hit. Already some early signs of concern as Justin Sorensen checks into this game here at quarterback. Hard count, no one jumps, and they will immediately look to the air, or Sorensen will look to scramble himself, picking up the first down. But whatever that original game plan was, that might be changed now with Sorensen still out there. Larry Sulai with a carry. But here's good news for the Cardinal. Following that play, Gordon Draft is back out there at quarterback, so it seems like he's trying to shake off whatever seemed to be nagging him as he finds Virgil Rowland wide open on the slant down and pushed out, goal to go at the 10. And even better, the synchronization there with the first down wave with the ref. That's what we like to see. We'd like to also see a touchdown here. Draft trying to finish this drive. He's got an open target. Diving in is Vallejo. Cardinal open up the Pac-12 Championship with a touchdown drive, having to bounce back from some penalties, some early injuries. But honestly, that's just a synopsis of how their season really has been. Hasn't been the cleanest. They've got it done when it counts the most. Now we'll see the defense out there facing the Huskies' high-powered offense as they find Crum, their tight end, who will pick up about 8 before Darren Sr. drags him down, near quite literally. Will be hurry up for the Huskies with a slight spread look, shotgun. Cardinal bring the blitz, and they will find their receiver in Correa. And it appears that'll just be the statement for the Huskies offense. A lot of quick hitting, quick throwing plays as well. That's going to keep this Cardinal team on their feet and potentially look to take away the pass rush of the Stanford Cardinal. And handing this one off, their first run, bouncing to the outside, a nice spin move. They're still running, Hasty down to the 37. Going back his way, Pashal slows him down. It'll be Oscar Coley bringing him down. Playing here in Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. Haven't even mentioned that so far. Pac-12 Championship, and that's one heck of a throw. Finding Eric Correa down to the 12. Huskies looking to cap off their first drive with a touchdown here as well. We'll look to throw. Dumping this one and trying to get back to the line here. Will be well short of it. A loss of 5 on the catch and run almost. Though they're going to get the free 5 here, or instead they go with the throw. It is caught. It was Darren Sr. who jumped a little bit early. And playing a little bit of the numbers game, Washington will accept rather than decline as they fake the pitch, spinning off the tackle, diving, and crossing that goal line. What a play from Bayless. UW on the board and ending a just as impressive drive to Stanford, tying this game up 7-7 in Las Vegas. And as we were worried about, there was no defensive line showing there for the Cardinal. It'll be up to their offense to try to respond and keep this a early shootout as it's Sulai down the middle for 6. Again, with Draft a little bit banged up, have heard it's some rib issues, so we'll see how that affects him throughout this game. We might see a little bit more of Larry Sulai as that's through the hands of Bargava. Wasn't quite able to get enough separation. Leaves a 3rd and 4. Hard count, make that a 1st and 10. Timothy Denbo jumps off sides, gives the Cardinal a fresh set here at the 36 with a changed up look, bunch to the right-hand side. As they will look to throw over across the middle, finding Ball, who will pick up 12 and the first down. Cardinal now looking to go a little hurry up off of their first down. Just about at the midfield line, they go back to Ball, trying to weave under, but takes a big hit from Cardin. But he does have the Cardinal inside plus side now at the 42. Going to Sulai, an outside run here, trying to pick up some blocks that ultimately might have led to a holding call here as we see Robinson in the camera view. Not that the Cardinal really have had a problem with their offensive line this year, but he has been the weakest link. More penalties than anyone else. With a 2nd and 6, they will look to the air, or instead trying to bail outside. Draft with enough speed will pick up the first down and takes a late bump there. No flag thrown. You would wonder if one would with the injury suffered earlier, but refs not looking to protect our Stanford Cardinal, at least not early on here. Thrown across the middle and finding Emmanuel Gomez, not able to keep his feet. Will be hurry up here for the Stanford Cardinal. Winning best tight end of the year in back-to-back seasons. Postseason is really when he's come and shine. Under pressure and getting that one out. Gomez in the area. Was a smart move though from Draft to let that one fly. Handing this time to Sulai. He picks up 5. Now leave the Cardinals still needing 5 more here on third down. They're down to the 22. Hard count will be a free play. Throwing outside, getting the catch ball, and will maintain that first down, though basically the same as accepting the penalty. Only difference seems to be about half a yard, so Coach Barrington will decline. We'll take the ball here at the 16 with a tight shotgun look for draft. As they do look to bring the blitz, throwing backside, finding Sulai. He's got the grab, and he picks up 6. Cardinal back down to the 10 here in what should be the final play of the quarter. Getting that ball off just in time. Setting up the screen with a blocker in front. Sulai didn't quite keep his feet enough to be able to hit the sideline there. We head to the break. Tied up here 7-7 though. Only the second possession for the Stanford Cardinal. Huskies have only had 1. So we're seeing some slow offenses that are highly efficient. And if you ask any coach, I'm sure they will take that. 3rd and 3 is where we start the second quarter down at the 10. Hard count and jumping early again. Timothy Denbo gives the Cardinal another first down. This time, goal to go at the 5. Draft is making a change here in his favorite formation. Ball in motion. Draft with the keeper, picks up a big block, but will get tracked down from behind at the 1. Very few defenses have been able to stop this formation on the goal line. They flip it here. Rolling in motion. They go Sulai and Denbo with a big play made up front. Cardinal now facing a 3rd and goal. They change up their look. With an early jump, this will be a free play. One that Draft will take down the middle, a delayed scamper. We could go ahead and decline that penalty. Cardinal take the lead. It's 14-7 off the Gordon Draft scramble and up to the defense to try to maintain that or grow it even themselves. As the Huskies take the field, they're back in the 15, looking for a run that nets 3. Hasty brought down by Kiki Harulahu. And they don't like the original looks. They're going to change things up here. Drop back into shotgun. And they tried to set up a screen. Bayless shakes the sack attempt and throws short of his receiver. So 3rd and 7, a chance to get off the field here as Bayless scrambles. He shakes another one and then freezes. Cassius Sampson will pick up the sack with help of Alex Augustine, who got there first. Defense will head off the field. 4th and 8. Huskies punt away. Very rare, though, to see a player like Ian Bayless freeze in a primetime game. Cardinal, though, will take it as a start plus side. Looking for some play action. Under pressure, bouncing to the outside to get this one to Kramer. Tight end 2 with a gain of 4. Huskies, though, doing a good job early in this game of getting some pressure, getting some hits in on draft. They're down to the 33 here. They go Larry Sulai, weaving and picking up another 3. Cardinal still needing 3 more on 3rd down. They got a bunch out to the right-hand side. Virgil rolling to the left. Going with a draw. Sulai cuts outside, and he's got the first. Very, very rare do we see Coach Barrington call a draw. Seemed to work out this time as they go with the end around, and ball is tied up on the outside. Reed Vujnovic. We saw he leads the Huskies in TFLs and sacks. He picks up another. It's 2nd and 16. The single high safety. Cardinal throws short to the outside. They get ball. Puts on the spin move. Puts on the juke move. And he will take it to the house. A touchdown for the Stanford Cardinal. And a show of moves from George Ball gives them the 21-7 lead over the Washington Huskies. Hopefully pulling away here in the second quarter. But it might be a little early to be talking about pulling away, as we still have 2.5 quarters a game to get through. Huskies only have had 1 bad drive. Their first was actually pretty good as Warrior finds some space. Alex Marcock brings him down. Whenever in the 4-4 defense, the Cardinal have not looked all too good today. That's so far favoring the Huskies. And the 34, they do finally snap that ball. Looking for their running back outside. Will be a gain of 8. They find Hasty. Not really looking like a backup running back. They use the same play, but to the opposite side almost, picking up the first down. Washington offense really hasn't changed that much from where we started this series. Early movement. I saw movement on both sides, but it looks like they're going to get Lawton moving early. Not really a great look, as this is one of the few formations that Lawton is actually out there. Henderson and Cassius Sampson over on the same side. A little bit of a power rush formation, though leaves Warrior wide open with a juke. He will almost break it to the outside. James Tuttle drags him down, but back inside the red zone are the Huskies, as they'll get back to the line here with a tight shotgun look. 3 different options to the left. A lot of movement, though, with the hand down. Technically should be a penalty. There is a flag, as it's about a gain of 5. Though this one will be on one of the offensive linemen for holding. We'll disregard the pre-snap infraction. It's a post-snap infraction. 1st and 20 back to the 28. As it's the 4-2-5 defense now here for the Cardinal. Leaving a receiver wide open in the corner, though Bayless will take it down to about a 5. Makes it goal to go at the 6. Cardinal bring the rush, but throwing behind it. Unfortunately, the receiver or tight end there couldn't quite keep his feet. Makes it 2nd and goal. They only gain 1. Keeping with their hurry up. Trips go to the right-hand side for Bayless. Handing this one off. Big hit from Kiki. He sits the running back down and forces a 3rd and goal. Huskies shaking up their look here. 3 different options to the right with their tight end at the line. One spread all the way out to the left-hand side. And Bayless scrambles, getting rid of it just in front of the sack. Cardinal will bow up down in the red zone and force a field goal attempt here. Right hash, right down the middle. Huskies tack on 3, making this 21-10. But with 2:03 remaining and 3 timeouts, plenty of time for the Cardinal to try to get something done themselves. Starting at the 25. As they're looking for a shot play, they got a receiver wide open, Ben Vallejo, and he gets out of bounds about midfield. 2-minute warning will hit there. They're at the opposite 40, so never mind midfield, 10 yards past that. As Draft goes with some more play action. Looking downfield again, he's got Vallejo one-on-one, and well played by the DB. We haven't seen Vallejo be able to do much in terms of going up and mossing DBs, but he's a pretty good route runner. Sulai down the middle, he shows off some strength before taking a big hit. That leaves the Cardinal needing about a yard, a little bit less than that at the 31. Bunch right-hand side, it's Larry Sulai, who looks to cut this one all the way outside, puts a little shimmy on the safety down to the 17. Just one of those players that can do a variety of things. Another red zone appearance, though, here for the Cardinal. As it's ball in motion, Draft keeps it. He bursts to the outside, though, a good open field tackle. As now Miles Vaughn is shaken up for the Cardinal. He's been a multi-year starter over at that left tackle spot. He'll head off the field for now. Hopefully we'll get an update on him after the break. But 2nd and 6 with about 45 seconds and counting, as Draft is swarmed. And they'll let the time run here, making sure the Huskies don't have any time to try to do something themselves. Throwing downfield for Bargava. It's broken up. They had the underneath receiver, as there was only one defender to that side. But it's Sam Ritter coming out here to tack on a field goal, sending us to the break. But it's not a first half you could be that upset about. 24-10. Cardinal have a 2-touchdown lead on the Huskies here at halftime. Gordon Draft 3 touchdowns, 75% complete, closing in on 200 passing, and that is after suffering an injury in the first drive. He's bounced back, and hopefully we'll be good to go throughout the remainder of this game. We'll also look for an update on Miles Vaughn at the end of halftime. But right now, Cardinal are in charge. Huskies do get the ball after half, and they've had some successful drives. They've had some big plays. They're just going to have to string together a few more of these and finish with touchdowns. Meanwhile, as we get back to our game here, we do have that update on Miles Vaughn. He should be good to go. We'll have a little bit more extra time here as the Huskies start off with the ball. Hasty forces the over pursue from Kiki, and he's going to find a good chunk until Schlegel chops him down. close to the midfield line. That time actually true at the 48, nearly the 49. It'll be hurry up for Bayless with motions to the left-hand side. Sucking down the linebacker in Tuttle. It opens up the pass for another big chunk. A good start here so far for the Washington Huskies. They're down to the 32. Looking to go back to the air. Finding their tight end in Crum with another first down. Make that 3 straight first downs for the Huskies. They're showing that they've got plenty of stamina for the long haul in this one. First and 10, and Kiki, where are you diving, buddy? I don't know if he thought Bayless was going to massively overthrow that one or what, but he just dove away from Crum. Leaving Warrior here is Kiki. He's getting picked on this drive. They're down to the 5. Most of the yards coming off of our number 5. With a bunch spread out to the right-hand side here, early movement. They're going to get Cassius Sampson for half the distance. A rough go out the gate here in the second half for our defense, though they didn't start the first half all too great either, as Hasty's upended by Tuttle, who was down on the ground. Luckily, some other Cardinal there to help bring him down or ensure he goes down. They lose about a yard or so on it. Second and goal, they throw quickly outside, and Crum with the blocking from his receivers. It's a tight end screen touchdown. A terrific start for UW. Now they're going to need their defense to come out and get a quick stop, provide them the opportunity to try to tie this game as it now sits 24-17. Our Cardinal will be starting their first drive of this half at the 21, and we've seen a lot of 21 Larry Sulai. They look to go back his way here as the line just keeps opening up gap after gap. Sulai sitting around 6 yards a carry. They're at the 33. Now Draft looks to be seeing something he likes, making a change out here to try to take advantage of it. With a bunch to the right-hand side, Virgil Rowland to the left. Play clock down inside 5. Finally getting that one off. And looking downfield for Rowland, who has the step taken down at the 25. That'll put Gordon Draft over 200 yards passing, and the Cardinal inside the 25. That is what you get when you have a quarterback who's been a 3-year starter here for the Cardinal. That's something they have not had in quite some time. Looking for the slant and finding Ben Vallejo, racking up catches today. He's very much been an asset for this offense, but he's not really battling for a key role. But he's having a key role today as, you guess it, Vujnovic. Huskies main man here on defense, making another play in the backfield. Cardinal lose 4. They're back to the 17. Hard count, no one jumps. Throwing this one outside, spinning grab. They've got Gomez with about half the yards needed. They still got to find 6 more here on third. With a tight group on both sides, hard count, no one jumps. They'll have to earn it all. Throwing and finding Ben Vallejo, who spins. And he spins too far. He goes out of bounds. So close to the touchdown, but it's not going to be. At least not on that play. First and goal. And he's actually going to head to the sideline for a bit of a breather, as it looked like Wesovich, who checked in, he actually kept Gordon Draft from stepping up. Denbo picks up the sack. It could have been a touchdown for the Cardinal. Instead, they get back to the line here quickly. Throwing outside, Vallejo taken down. Chuck LaRue with the play on the outside for the Huskies. And looking to make a change here is Draft. He seems to see something that he likes. Worked out pretty well for him last time. Third and goal. They get the block front side, but they forget about Vujnovic. And it's the field goal unit headed out here for Stanford, though they might be looking for a fake, throwing late, and it's caught by Gomez. A touchdown to give the Cardinal another 2-score lead. Sam Ritter throws the touchdown here in the Pac-12 Championship as he was under heavy pressure. Just when the Huskies thought they had the stop, Coach Barrington stays aggressive. And with an inopportune return, they're starting back inside the 10. Looking to get Hasty outside. Tuttle with a good flow this time brings him down. The linebackers really have not looked good today, if we're being honest. A lot of open receivers across the middle, running backs getting to the outside and picking up extra yards. Good fill and force back there again by Tuttle. Kiki will come down to get the tackle. Leaves a 3rd and 6. 2 spread either side. Bayless making some changes out there as well, as they will look to throw this one. Curls across the board, and again, soft coverage coming from the linebacker. Tuttle, he made 2 good plays in a row, but you got to come ready to play every down. He doesn't there. He gives up the first down to the 26 with about a minute to go here in the 3rd. Flooding and finding a good crosser downfield. Really seeing a lot of different players step up today for the Washington Huskies, where we saw in the stats they primarily throw to 2 different receivers, Warrior and Correa. But we've seen everyone getting well involved. 18, a little bit of some tight end, some fullback, some running back. And Bayless looking to scramble here, sliding down in front of Kiki. Not a lot of players like to take hits from him, as the Cardinal bring the blitz, and they're going to find their 18. It's Fatele Aitui to the end zone as he outruns the DB. A big answer back from the Washington Huskies. They make this 31-24. And again, hearkening back to these teams' average productions, both teams average 33 points a game. We're closing in on that mark here with about a quarter to go. Sulai bounces outside. He's got about 5. And that takes us to the 4th quarter here. We will have a champion in about 9 minutes of game time. But who's it gonna be? Cardinal are already on top. Huskies, they've fought well in this one. It's 2nd and 5 of the 25 as we get the final quarter underway, and the screen will not connect. Timothy Denbo with the pressure. He's had an up and down game as their best player just jumps off sides. He gets the sack. That won't matter, as it will be a free first down here for the Cardinal. Or actually, check that. Not a free first down. They're saying 3rd and inches. As the Huskies are stacking the front here. Cardinal, they're back in their strong pistol set. And they will both run right at each other. Larry Sulai with a gap right side, as now Ben Cortez a bit banged up. Another offensive lineman here for the Stanford Cardinal. He's also the only senior up front for the Cardinal. Looks like Pete Morton is going to shift to the left as they bring in Barkow over on the right-hand side. So a little bit of a shaken up front, though opens up nonetheless for Larry Sulai, who nearly broke away, and now Barkow is down, who just came in for one play for the injury to Cortez. And that is now Lewis who will have to come in. Honestly, couldn't tell you who Lewis is. I'll have to check the depth chart. But 1st and 10, Sulai, he bounces this one outside, and will pick up 3. Well, that does buy me some time to check some notes. Lewis is a sophomore out of New Jersey, so playing almost in the exact opposite corner of the United States. And throwing this one late. That ball's going to get there late, and it's going to be picked off. Headed down the left sideline. Sulai forces the cutback. It's Gomez who finally gets the tackle, and the Huskies are set up to tie this game. Draft did not need to throw that one, but he saw a receiver, and he gave it a good chunk. But Chuck LaRue just happens to be at the right place for the Huskies. At the 32, they look to tie this game, finding the man who got their last touchdown, i.e. Tui, down to the 20. A 2 spread to the left-hand side. Looks like the Cardinals shaking up their defense a little bit here. And handing this one off. Hasty with some space. Spin move. Bouncing off. And we've got a tie ball game here in the 4th quarter. Hasty has been nasty out there for the Washington Huskies. He's been hard to bring down. Big hit wrap up does not matter. He's breaking that tackle. The Cardinal, they've been in charge of this game for most of it. They've got to come back in here and settle things down. Good news for them, Cortez is back in there at left guard. As they go to the running game, an immediate pressure from the right-hand side. It is Luvu. No gain on the run for the Cardinal. Rare tonight. Nearly getting someone to jump off. Looking to go back to the passing game here. As Draft, he finds some space. He weaves through and angles out at the 50. That boy's quick. just with the pure shiftiness to get through the line and then pick up all those extra yards as well. One heck of a run as they are letting that clock run here as well. Sulai right side is also now a little bit shaken up for the Cardinal, holding at what looked to be a rib. A lot of players here for Stanford getting roughed up. They've got about 6 minutes to get through here, and we've got a tie ball game at the 45. It's Wesovich with the run, and he's got one. Cardinal will need to find 5 more on third down as we approach 5 minutes left to go. Hard count, no one jumps. They'll look for the air under pressure, and that one is off the left hip of Robinson. And a decision to make here for Coach Barrington. And it seems he's going to trust his offense here. At the 44, it's 4th and 5, and Jules checked in at running back. Hard count, and they get the big fella down the middle to jump. Is this a free first down? Refs indicate yes. Estrella jumps early. They're going to keep it, though, with a 1st and 10 here at the 39. And Draft again will look to scramble here. He slides down right down center. Cardinal at the 31, and they are letting that clock run in between each and every play. Opposite to what we've seen from the Huskies today. Very hurry-up oriented as Jewel is close to the first down. Estrella is now injured, and the Cardinal do have a fresh set. So things perhaps falling away here for the Huskies. They got to make a big play. Cardinal down to the 28. As they get the screen set up outside with one defender. Jewel can't quite shake him. 15 holds him up long enough for help to arrive. Cardinal, though, set up goal to go at the 7. But can they find their go-ahead touchdown? It's Draft's formation here. And it's Larry Sulai back in the backfield. They get this one to roll, and Sulai a blocker. And it is Gomez picking up 2 blocks to seal the edge. We'll have to go and take a second look at that, but Virgil Rowland gives the Cardinal the lead on the jet sweep touchdown. Let's take one more look here at it, though. Just an absolutely textbook play. He gets the safety, the second safety flows, and he blocks him as well. Leaves no one on the outside to stop Virgil Rowland. But now the Huskies have 3:43 to go, and they need a touchdown to answer. 3 Cardinals show up at the line to get the quick stop. Hurry up here from the Huskies. They have 3 timeouts still in their back pocket. Don't like the first look. They're going to shake things up. Looks like the defense will as well. Going back to Hasty. He will grind out about 6. And it leaves the Cardinal with a 3rd and 3. Can they get the stop? Might be 4 down territory here. Heggie loops around, forcing the scramble from Bayless, who's brought down 4th and 1, and it looks like Huskies will punt. The Cardinal have been the far more aggressive ones today, and it's paying off. Now, interesting here, we see Justin Sorensen out there at quarterback. Wesovich, the running back, Babineau at fullback as they run left-hand side. A free stoppage of time as Ben Cortez is down yet again. And on top of that, Huskies, they only give up 1 on the play, so 2nd and 9 of the 39. That clock stops. They hand this one off. Babineau, who gets spun around. He picks up a couple. And the Cardinal coming off a 2-minute break here. They have a 3rd and 7, and Sorensen is still the quarterback. And they get Vujnovic to jump off sides. A massive get there for the Cardinals, sets up a 3rd and 2 instead. Dropping back into shotgun, we see Jewel check in at running back. He'll take the carry. He's got the first down to about the 48 Oppo. And the Huskies start to call their timeouts. Wesovich back in the backfield here. Still Sorensen. And going nowhere, another quick timeout. Only 1 more will remain for the Huskies, and it's 2nd and 11. Babineau once again into the backfield at fullback. And he will get stuffed. Another couple loss, and the final timeout is called for the Huskies. So 3rd and 13 for the Cardinal, and a stop the Huskies have to find here. As we move inside 5 on the play clock, They'll look to set up the screen to Jewel. He's got some speed, but it's not going to be enough to get around the edge. They'll let this clock run down and punt away. With a minute to go, Huskies need a touchdown to tie this game. As they'll look to the air and they find a wide open receiver in Warrior to the 41. This is really when the Cardinal can use their front four to get some pass rush. We haven't seen it today. Cassius Sampson gets the pressure, but is Marcock beat on the outside by Correa. Ian Bayless trying to be the hero here to give the Huskies a chance. 2nd and 10, and they find their target. Tui down to the 13. And again, they'll run up here to clock it. Huskies have shown real aptitude to be able to get down the field rather quickly. They've got 34 seconds to find the tying play. Flooding the center and then throwing out the back. That leaves 3rd and 10 here for the Huskies. Cardinal, they need a big play from their defense. Throwing outside and breaking that one up. Kiki Harulahu forces a 4th and 10. They could get a first down at the 3. That's the biggest thing for their offense right now. And throwing downfield and caught. Tui with the touchdown to tie this game. 19 seconds to go. We are not done here in the Pac-12 Championship. And that's because the Huskies are not done here on offense. They're going for the win. And they check it down. Hasty is taken down. They will have to try the onside kick. Are you kidding me? Coach Barrington with the timeout. They waited to get aggressive late, and Soma Pua scoops it. We will three-peat the Pac-12 Championship coming on the final play of the game. We let the Huskies get back into this one. Some of that due to injuries. Gordon Draft, he was pulled late on. Larry Sulai as well. Half of the interior of the offensive line also got shaken up. The defense did not look good out there. The fast pace, spread that ball out, throw it quick, throw it medium, throw it late, didn't matter. It was a lot of success out there for the Washington Huskies, but we are taking home that Pac-12 championship trophy for the 3rd year in a row. The perfect season still intact, but with more work still to do. But as for who our opponent will be, that is not yet decided, as we will be in the Rose Bowl against the winner of Boise State and Texas. Beating Washington, that knocked them out of the playoffs as well. A real devastating way for most of their postseason play to come to an end. They will still have a bowl game, and it will be Texas. We will see a new team. Boise State not able to get the upset, but back to the Rose Bowl where we won last year, this time facing the Longhorns. And to make sure you don't miss it, hit that bear icon in the bottom right or scroll down, hit that sub button and tap that bell icon. While you're already going around and pressing certain buttons, make sure you leave a like here as well if you enjoyed the episode. We made that a little bit closer than it needed to be at the end. Again, a lot of that was due to players getting banged up. The good news, everyone, including Gordon Draft, they are good to go heading into this playoff game as we're looking to go back-to-back national champions. And here's a look at everyone who stands in our way. Going through the board here, Arkansas State, they made it as the 12th. They played against Ohio State, who dropped from number 1. We actually didn't finish number 1. That was Kansas State, who jumped back in front of us again, despite them having a loss. But I digress. Ohio State won that round 42-7. You have USC, who beat Florida 31-10. None of these games all too close. Marshall, they lost to East Carolina, the 5th East Carolina, mind you. And then Boise State, the closest of the bunch, but still one-sided, 29-17. So in the next round, we're going to have Ohio State and Purdue, USC and Kansas State, East Carolina and Syracuse, and then Texas versus our Cardinal. So we could have a Pac-12 championship. If USC is able to make that run, they'll have to get through the #1 Kansas State Wildcats. But let me know who you think is going to run the table. Will our Cardinal go back-to-back, or will someone jump in? East Carolina, that would be interesting. But taking a look at this next matchup, we are the better offense. We average slightly more points, slightly more passing yards, and a little bit more rushing yards by about 24. Overall-wise, we do also hold a pretty substantial lead there, 5 in terms of the overalls. 92-87 for offense and 94-89 for the defense. But we need our defense to play much better next time. Hopefully, they bounce back. We've got the Longhorns up next. We'll see you there. We will also see you tomorrow for Cha-Cha Vaz. And do not miss Wednesday, the Super Bowl for the Jacksonville Jaguars, playing against, if I'm not mistaken, the Dallas Cowboys. So we've got a thing this week happening against Texas. If you're from Texas, well, I'm sorry, but we're looking to beat you, as we are looking for our second straight natty. We've got to take our second straight Rose Bowl.